Stugotz is complaining about the Slack. I just heard the sentence come out of his mouth because he does not like new technology. And he doesn't, I don't know if he likes communicating, but he doesn't like being organized. And he said just a second ago, this Slack is going to push me over the edge. That's the phrase he used.
Yeah.
And then he followed it up with, it's going to be the end of me, because we're trying to organize all of us getting to a place on time to do a show in another city.
Yeah.
And Stugotz is complaining about one of the very minor details, which is just pulling up your phone and saying something on Slack. I don't know how much easier something can be made for us technologically.
It's the pop-ups. They don't stop. And Slack, I get the most. If it's DLB Musical, it's South by Southwest, it's Random Dan LeBatard, it's production, it's Super Bowl 22. There are 9 different Slack chats. I don't know which one. Yeah, but I don't know which one to check. I wanted to stop buzzing. Enough is enough. My phone won't stop. And I am telling you right now, I'm telling everyone in this company, Slack is going to make the thing, is going to be the thing that makes me throw my phone in the fucking ocean. I am tired. I'm going to throw myself into the ocean. I am tired of all these messages. Just tell me where to be, when to be there, what I need to do, and I might show up and I might do it. I also might not. All right, Slack? How about that?
Stugotz, I've been working with you guys for 15 months. I fielded 7 calls from Stugotz.
Yeah.
We don't communicate enough. I never know what's going on. Our communication is terrible. We try and solve the problem. Stop communicating with me.
I like voice-to-voice communication. I do. I want to hear the sound of your voice when you have something important to tell me. I don't want it in a Slack.
There have been
All right, I'll send a voice note via Slack now.
You just don't want to read.
There have been two
Slack.
times where Stugotz has gotten here to a totally empty studio, and I catch him like pacing around enraged, and I'm like, "What happened? Nobody told you?" And then he says, "They said it's in the Slack," but he didn't look at the Slack, so they tried to tell him, but he smells like cigarettes because he's been in the garage smoking for 30 minutes, and he doesn't like to arrive. What I love is that the name of the thing is Slack, and what Stugotz wants to do is slack off.
I mean, I'm a slacker. There's no question about it.
And you're old enough to remember, as we head into a new symbolic period of our show here, Stugotz, where we go to Austin and we celebrate a musical and our freedom. You're old enough to remember when we were on the roof of the Clevelander Hotel having one of our first production meetings. Do you guys remember this? One of our first, because we didn't do meetings. We didn't know how to be organized. We didn't know how to make an army mobilize of creative people who are bouncing off of each other. And we had a meeting on the roof of this place about how to produce a show. At the time, I don't recall being handed even papers back then. Do you? I don't remember. Now our desk is covered in papers. Now we've got all sorts of stuff, but back then we didn't have much other
And
than...
you had paper back then.
You did have paper back then. You know why? My show sheet.
Honestly, what?
I've been doing interview research for like 10 years.
Did
What are you talking about?
Did you just say you didn't have paper at the Clevelander?
The original meeting that we had, what was that about? The original production meeting?
I don't know. It felt like one of those that it was about like yelling at all of us.
Yeah.
Just, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Why on the roof? This is hot.
We were
Now-
playing,
my life.
We
Now-
were playing the blame game, no doubt
Now
about it.
we lead the league in meetings.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Have
no
we
one needs
learned?
more than we do.
So many
We have
goddamn
so many
meetings.
meetings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tom
You
Brady
guys
is setting
are
a
so-
meeting.
That's
You know,
right.
from 0 meetings to 3. Oh, we have so many meetings.
Great. I take 3.
Every
I mean-
organization in America has like 20 meetings a week. Like, I don't understand why this is some Herculean task.
We weren't supposed to be those organizations.
Right. No one loves a meeting more than Whittingham.
We were
though.
supposed
I mean-
to be a disorganization.
Right.
I think the reason that I remember it on the roof, look at how Mike complains about it, because it was just a meeting. Like, we didn't have any of
No,
those.
that was one of those
Yeah,
therapy
that was-
sessions.
Yeah. I had a blast.
deals.
Right. Yeah.
I still wake up to that meeting sometimes. And that wasn't even bad for me. Mike cut that.
Well, I would say I'd hate to relive it, but I do with my therapist constantly.
Over and over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least Dan doesn't bring it up regularly.
Yeah,
No.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's,
And at least he doesn't misplace his timeline, too, to the point that we haven't invented paper yet.
that's right.
He
Yeah.
thought that was a planning meeting.
Watch. Next week, he's going to say we don't do bits anymore on the heels of writing an original fucking musical.
What a time to be alive.
The Slack, though.
I don't understand your objection to
I just
this.
got another
We're
one.
just
I mean-
trying to communicate. We're
It is-
trying to keep abreast of what's
It
going
is
on.
terribly named. That
It's named
the opposite.
precisely for him.
It is Stugotz is
Can we have one file,
we-
though?
we
I
are
mean, how do
tr-
I
we
get
are-
rid of Super Bowl 2022?
We
I
are
mean,
trying to trick, okay, through subliminal messaging, Stugotz into being organized by reminding him one ding on his phone at a time about slacking. Like it's just Slack. It's just the reminder again and again. We're not going to let you, Stugotz. We're not. You have to show up in Austin. We need you in Austin because I have no idea what to expect. Do you guys know? We have not done what we're about to do in Austin. This is a very intimate environment. It's a strange environment. We don't do our show in front of people because it's a lot less comfortable to sink into your mistakes in front of people.
We still also don't know how many people we're doing our show in front of because we've never done this at South by Southwest. I know it's open to badge holders, but it's at a place that people can go to. There's a pedestrian walkway there, and I think you can see what we're doing. We're going to be out there Sunday and Monday doing some show. More formal announcements are going to be coming out later in the day where you can find details. It's on the South by Southwest website. This all may seem like it's coming together very quickly for the consumer, and we apologize for that because contracts weren't finalized, messaging wasn't finalized. But yes, this weekend we're going to be venturing out to South by Southwest and doing something that is well outside of our comfort zone.
Chris Cody has said that the better result, and I think he's right, is a sad ballroom that no one has access to.
I am so worried that this is going to turn into a Defo remote broadcast
there's
from
the
a luxury car dealership.
what's wrong with that?
I mean, that was the goal. And that was before a top 3 album in the country. Now I want people to show.
The last time that we did a remote was it Ed Williamson? It was at a legitimate car dealership.
That's the only one you remember.
I think it was a quarter deck.
He was so mad at me that I sent him to a car dealership
Yeah.
to do a show. Me
Never
and Dan.
again.
It
I
was
remember
so
that.
bad. Oh.
I think we also did one from a shoeless steakhouse in which all the 72 Dolphins that were the surviving 72 Dolphins were.
That was a weekly show.
we were at Shula's Steakhouse once a week, but
Yes.
they had a studio.
Yep.
Was it Ed Williamson Cadillac? Or
Yes.
was it,
No, it was Ed Williamson Cadillac
but-
up in Fort Lauderdale, I believe. Yeah.
And-
you were so mad at me, man.
I mean, imagine me and Stugotz sitting next to each other at a car dealership as Murray from Boca wanders through, and he's the only one there staring at us because we haven't done.
Murray!
Roy, why are you laughing? Because you gave him his line and he didn't execute it at the right time.
He didn't leave the window open long enough, Roy. He did not. He closed it very quickly.
Were none of you at that Ed Williamson Cadillac? This is what we're
I don't think
recreating
so.
in
I
Austin.
think I was listening.
I think I was at the studio.
I remember going to that 72 Dolphins broadcast where they were honoring Coach Shula, and someone said to me, Mike, go get Jim Kick. And I'm like, yeah, on it. In my head, I'm like, who the fuck is Jim Kick? And what does he look like?
Who are going to be the guests? Do we know who's going to be joining us yet? Who's going to join us in this convention center hall where 3 people are milling about, all of whom are there to see somebody else talk?
We're efforting some big names right now.
Wow.
There's a lot of people that go to South by Southwest, and we're attempting to get some heavy hitters.
Name a name. Name a name.
What was that?
Name a name.
You know,
That was one name.
Efforting big names.
They one name.
One name.
We've reached out to the people of Ninja.
Ooh.
Who are they?
Who's he?
They.
All right.
Who are the
He said the people.
Who
I
are
mean-
the people of Ninja? And Ninja's a gamer. I love the idea of us going to Austin to just me and Stugotz, who haven't played video games. I've still got
Since Atari.
I got a Miss Pac-Man machine in my house. We're going to Austin to try to connect with young people. Mike, what is this Ninja you speak of?
So here's the main reason I want to have a chart-topping album is because I think being able to say, oh, he's a producer of the #1 album in the country might get me into the after show post-screening of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Because Nick Cage is in Austin on Saturday
Oh my
premiering his film.
God.
What?
Mike, but that's a bucket list. If we were to, we
There's
can't get
no way.
Nick
He doesn't
Cage.
come out during the day.
When I got a list of guests, that was top. I was like, if there's anything that we can do while we're here, get Nick Cage on.
Okay, we've got to try to do that. We've got to see what Hollywood machinations we could stir and to find out who knows Nick Cage. That's a bucket list interview for us.
I would say put a message into Carrot Top, but I believe Carrot Top is no longer friends with Nick Cage because he told a Nick Cage story on our show. So that's 2 strikes against.
Where am I going?
Texas.
Oh, okay. It's in the Slack, right?
Yeah, it's in the Slack. It's in the Slack. All you have to do is walk downstairs because you're staying at the Four Seasons.
Is anyone?
Wow.
Is anyone going
I
to
see you, Dan.
be there? Is Stugotz going to be there?
No, I can't guarantee Stugotz. We are positioned right before a happy hour, so there will be people there. Maybe not for you.
But what's the best outcome for us for comedic purposes?
Honestly,
failure, correct? Failure. Like, hey, we got a
Comedic
big
purpose.
musical. Now we're in an echoey, tinny auditorium, and there's nobody there because there are restrictions on who can get in to see us.
I just want it to go well. Honestly, I want this to be an enjoyable experience so we can continue to do things that grow the show and put us in cool places to which we're a few yards away, possibly, from Nick Cage. That's cool for the show. We have the numbers that say we're pretty big. We're now big in music. I would love for more of these remotes. So I just hope everything goes smoothly from a technical aspect. And if you're not drowning in a pool of your own sweat because there's only 7 people there, that'd be a bonus.
Hildy is carrying the whole company to Austin. She's got to wrangle Stugotz and get us all to Austin, Texas. We do not know how this is
Like
going to
carry on luggage for her.
We do not know how this is going to go, but the next time that you guys hear from us after Friday will be on Monday and Tuesday. We will be doing the shows live to tape Sunday and Monday for Monday and Tuesday. That's what we're going to do.
We're working Sunday.
We are working Sunday. We need to find Nick Cage on Sunday. We're going to leave breadcrumbs to see if we can secure the whole goal. This has got to be the goal while we're there. Do we get Nick Cage to sit down and tell us about his skulls and the castles he's purchased?
I am going to make it my mission.
Yes.
To get Nick Cage on this show because of the effort Mike Ryan put into this musical.
There it is. And when Stugotz,
this is going to be a gift for Mike Ryan, and you're right. I'm going to ask Smetty to do it.
There it is.
Yeah.
And all Mike Ryan would need from you was to execute the understanding of the Slack. But instead, you promise him Nick Cage, which you will not deliver. And when you say you will do the work necessary to get Nick Cage, it's the same work you have done to make sure that Dwayne Wade does not get a statue outside of the arena if he plays 1 minute with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Does he have one yet?
I mean, he barely played a minute with the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
The raising of a finger. Didn't you say you were going to work your fingers to the bone to get Dwayne Wade? Yep. You have been.
I mean, listen, the Heat wanted to do it like 3 separate times, and, I went to work. No statue. How about that?
We'll see you in Austin. Maybe we'll unveil a Wade statue.